June 3rd, 2026. We were looking for longs, and so this is what happened on this day here. So we're still in the Topstep trading combine. We're still looking to pass this. We were looking at the day prior with a large cluster of 874 throughout the day, looking for a push further up. Now, if you look at the weekly chart, you start to see all these giant green candles. And if you look at the daily chart, it's just consecutively green, 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 nothing but green days, right? And so we were looking for a little bit more push to the top here because there was so much buying pressure. So we were looking for reversion trades back up to the mean. So this is the first trade that I took as a reversion trade. Price consolidated here and then it immediately broke up. Now I should have taken into consideration the large push down to the bottom here, but let's take a look at what happened.
Order filled.
So getting in with one contract, again, I'm a little bit hesitant in regards to the fact that price aggressively sold down. So we're looking to aim for that top portion there, the high of the regular trading session after I had pulled down here. So price right now starts to go in our favor. It looks like it wants to hold that EMA here, and it looks like it wants to continue. So I start to add right on that same little order block that it's forming right there, that the high volume node. It's forming a high volume node there. Look to test it there and look for a rejection. That's how I would get in, looking for a continuation to the top. Again, I should have taken into consideration the fact that there was a large push down here. If you can see that little white candle, that's an area that we would look into consideration for reversal to the bottom, because it is a high volume node, right? It was an aggressive imbalance. That's the only time buyers got to step in, and then it immediately started to push down. So here, it's forming that high volume node area, coming back down to test it. I'm in 5 contracts at this point in time. We're only risking $495. Again, trying to stay within that $500 range. Don't want to go anywhere above the $500 to keep our risk consistent, right? We want to keep our risk consistent so we don't have any outliers as far as losers. So I want to keep that at 500. Starts to come back down here, testing that large block right here. It looks like it wants to pull away. Here it goes. Now, the only problem I see here, and you see how fast it started to push up, that gave me a little bit of confidence. But the problem that I see here is that it broke the previous structure, right? It went down, broke that high volume node, and that large push up, that was a very, very quick push up here for strength to push to the top side. Again, looking. Now, I know that the VWAP shows on this chart at the very, very bottom. So you might say, well, what mean reversion? What are you talking about? On the other chart, you can see it's the daily VWAP, which starts at the regular hours. This is after hours. So again, if this was after hours, buyers are in control at this point, right? So want to make sure that we take that mean reversion with the regular hours VWAP. So now it's consolidating again. Now the problem again, it's consolidating right on top of that previous consolidation. I never like those just because sometimes when it does a consolidation, slight push up, consolidation, that means that price isn't really moving anywhere. Price is getting stuck and it's just hovering right above there. Most of the time that I've noticed is that price tends to just come back down the opposite direction of where it's consolidating, right? Where the original consolidation was. So now we're again down 250, 260. Again, looking to see if it's willing to hold this high volume area. It's not holding so far. So right, so I start to take off. At this point, I'm like, well, it's gonna hit my target. It looks like it's gonna hit my target. I slowly start removing my risk one by one. If it's gonna hit it, it's gonna hit it, but at least it won't be the full 495 that I was risking there originally. So now we're minus 304. And here it goes. It's about to hit my stop loss. Not moving it from there. And there it goes. So hit my stop loss. First trade. Again, I took 2 trades this day. So now we're going to go ahead and see what happened next. So already lost. It's okay. We're still in the trade. We're minus 417 with 70 cents. we're still good, right? We're still alive. So let's continue. At this point, look at the next trade here. It looks pretty aggressive, like a falling knife here, but I did get in for a sell. Came in for a sell. Starting to come down here. Looking for that continuation to the bottom, being that it failed, that the mean reversion failed all the way up. So now we're looking for a continuation. See if we can get that continuation. Now, as this is going down, I'm starting to see that the price isn't really pushing aggressively to the bottom. So I'm starting to get a little scared of hesitating whether it's going to continue or if it's going to revert at this point. So I go to break even and I just get out of the trade. I don't want to be in this trade. It doesn't look like it wants to continue going down further. I could have done better on that. Waited a little bit longer. So this is the next trade that I take here. Let's go ahead and go to the next trade. So it looks like I ended up taking up 3 trades in this session here. So let's take a look. Okay. So before the trade starts, we're going to stop right there. So again, I got in for a mean reversion trade again. Now, as you can see, we waited. So the last trade we took was about 645, 650-ish. Now we waited all the way until after news was done. You start to see this push all the way back up, come back down. And now we have a good potential entry for a mean reversion to the top here. And so start to see 7 o'clock happen, waited like 2 to 3 minutes to get confirmation. And now we're in this trade. Again, for a mean reversion, we're still down $404 with 50 cents. Let's see how far and see if we can get this to go. Putting my stop again below the low of the high volume node. I did increase my profit above the last high volume node that was there. The last consolidation, that last order block, however you want to see it, that's what it is. That's where orders accumulated and then pushed in one direction. Now again, when it comes to taking these losses, you want to make sure you're thinking clearly, you're not thinking on emotion, you're taking the trades as you see them, and it's not just, oh, I think that this is going to happen. I have also taken those type of trades and they haven't worked out. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't, but I wouldn't count on that so much. So with this specific trade, again, there's something I saw here. I took the trade and went for it, right? So I will go ahead and review that in just a moment. So you can see it's holding that order block. It's holding that high volume node. Going into the low volume node, quickly rejecting. There are people defending that. So as you can see, it did hold that low volume node area. So looking and waiting here. Price is just consolidating at this level here. Holding that EMA. Now we're here at risk of getting stopped out. It's going to continue here. Now it starts to aggressively push again like the time before. Up a little higher. Now it's going to break this high. That's all I need to do is break that high. Now I feel more comfortable in this trade because it broke that high volume area. So let's see if it holds here. It just has to come down to that little area. Push right back up where it's at right now. Here it goes. So for now, so far it's been holding. Again, now we're waiting patiently in this trade. We're not getting nervous. We're not getting out. We're not trailing. We're leaving everything where it is. Just waiting to see how this trade is playing out. Right now we have the EMAs above my stop loss, which is holding price there. If it breaks below, then I'm out. I lost. Calling it a day. Yep. Price is coming all the way back down, which is a little scary, right? Because your stop loss is just right there. It's about to get taken out. It can go quick, wick you out. Done. Or you can come right back. So here we go. So close to getting stopped out. We're at minus 352, 305. Just have to trust your trade, trust your plan. Okay, price starting to go back up here. Want to see it move back up. So So now we've been in this trade for just quite a while. We were entered about 7:03. It is now 7:08. A few minutes. Okay, we're back to the entry. So we just got saved from getting stopped out. We were so close to getting stopped out. Price is back up to our entry. So now we're looking to see if it's willing to break higher here. Price aggressively started moving up. There was no really retracement on this move. So we're looking for price to come back up and continue going up a little further. Now at this point, I'm looking at this trade and I'm thinking that I only am looking for $400 to $500 to reach to that level, that dollar amount, and then just get out. Like I don't like the price action. I don't like the way it's moving. There's no really follow through to the side that I'm looking to trade in. So I just want to get out of this trade, right? So right now I'm holding the trade to see where it goes. I'm not getting out. I'm holding it. Right now price is still indicating that it's going up. But then again, if it goes up to $500, that's where I want to get out. I want to leave the trade. There's nothing further that I need to do or that I want to do, or I don't want to wait any longer for this trade. Still stuck right there again. We've been waiting for this trade to move and do something, but it's not doing anything. Price is trying to go up here. It's getting pushed down, but there are buyers there. You can see that there are buyers there holding the price. Now price is starting to move up here. It's starting to break above the high volume node here. It should start to break away pretty quickly. There is really no volume up on the top here. There is just an aggressive imbalance to the bottom. So I'm looking to get out of this trade at $500 so I can cover my previous loss and just be up $100, right? So I'm not looking for anything extreme, just looking to cover my loss. Yep. Price is still moving up in my favor so far. Up 202, up 217, 235, 37. Again, looking for price to go up. Again, I'm not loving this price action. I don't like this price action at all because it's just so slow, not going anywhere. There's no direction at this point. So I'm not really enjoying this price action. It's actually getting me frustrated as I'm in this trade. What I felt was frustration. So here goes, starting to move up. We're up 300. Here's where we start to look at where's $500. Where is that level at so I can get out? As soon as price goes right above that, I'm letting go of the mouse, setting my stop loss right there. So you'll see me do that shortly here as it gets to the 400s. So now I'm looking to see if this holds. I'm looking to see if this little block that's right below that imbalance, if that holds, then that is where I am looking for the push to the top here. Starts consolidating here at this little area. Starting to think, okay, well let's see what happens, to see how far it goes. If not, I need to start exiting or thinking about an exit as price moves against me. So it's starting to move in my direction still. It's pushing. Here we go. So now it's breaking that high volume node that it made that consolidation. It's pushing up. It broke. Now I want to see some continuation here. Now there's an area where I could potentially leave my stop loss right underneath that block, right? I can leave it underneath that block. If it comes back down and takes me out, that's great. I'll still be positive for this trade, but I will still be in negative overall for the day. Starting to see it go to 400, 460, 465, 430, 440. So now here I'm looking to see where I can place my stop. Again, I want to exit at $500, at least $500. That's where I want to exit. You see me leave it right above here, wanting to see it come back up. Right now there's a red candle, went right below the $500 mark. I missed my opportunity there, but I'm not going to miss it this time here. So seeing price push up. Now I want to trail here aggressively. 500, 587, done. Right there. Let that trade go. Now, we are there at 179 with 90 cents positive after being $400 down. Again, this is where I called it a day. Done. I don't want to trade anymore. Frustrated at this point because of the price action. So I was done and not having it. I don't want to take another trade. It's way past the time I normally would trade. So that's it. That's all. That's what I call a day right there. So let's go ahead and look at the trades and see what I did with the other chart. Okay, so let's look at the charts. So here we go. First trade, as you can see, this is what I was looking at here. So I was looking at this absorption that I thought was happening. You see that it starts to form with this first candle here. 25 aggressive sellers, big sellers start to push down. Another big seller, 29, 35, 44, 88. And then you start to see it hit right here, consolidate immediately afterwards. You start to see some aggressive buying. Now, I did get in at a really bad area. I should have got in immediately after the first buyer came in and then put my stop below the low. Would have been able to capitalize on that mean reversion trade. Did not capitalize on this mean reversion trade because immediately after I got in, it was in this green candle, 25 aggressive buyers, and then price just came down, lost, one trade lost, right? As price continued to come down, again, I got in a little bit too late on that last trade. Started to get in here where you see this green and red combination here. Again, wasn't the best trade, came back out to stop me out. It's okay. One bad trade, one break even. This next trade was it here. Again, we waited a little bit longer. Price moved up, went to the EMAs, kept coming down. Again, we were waiting for the 7 o'clock news to just finish so that way we can get out. We didn't want to make the same mistake we made the other day where we got wicked out at 7 o'clock when we entered. So I waited a little bit longer to see what price was going to do. Waited, came in here. You start to see these aggressive buyers holding above these sellers. You start to see aggressive 25, aggressive 27. Then you start to see some sellers coming at VWAP. 49 aggressive sellers here. Then it starts to push down here. 25 aggressive buyers here. Let's see if these other two buyers can hold where this little volume area is. So far they hold, right? And so you start to see this here. And as soon as I get to the top portion where it looks like it wants to break the VWAP, I get in. What happens? Again, you see in the other chart, as price came all the way down this direction here, almost took me out. This EMA saved me here. This is where they ended up buying right in between these two aggressive buyers, right? And then it started to push up immediately after that. And again, got out right here for 567, I believe that was, dollars. Ended up with a good profit. But as you can see, if I would have kept holding with the expectation of it coming a little higher, I would have just got chopped up here. This is potentially, see 715 here. If I would have waited until the next move up, would have been 726. Another 10 minutes just sitting there waiting for price chopping, stressing out whether it was coming back to take me out. So those are the three trades I took. One win, one break even, and one loss. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.